Hi everyone, it's Talia and welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. So for today's video, I am finally going to be giving you guys my new car tour. You guys have been asking me for this video for, I've only had the car for a week, so for a week. But that's what we're going to be doing today. I have got an Audi A1, so yeah, let's get into it. Just a quick disclaimer before we go around the outside of the car. I'm obviously not a car specialist. I just have a car that I'm going to show you guys, so I will link down below probably a lot more of an informative car tour, but let's get into it. So I have got the Audi A1 S-Line. It has a lovely little S-Line badge here. It has got automatic wing mirrors as well that will, if I lock my car, I don't think it was going to work there. They will obviously, oh my god, there's a spider, come look, in my wing mirror, in that little crack. I've already got a friend. And then obviously we just have the fuel which goes in here. It's just a pushy one, and this is a petrol car. It's pretty boring, but that's what it looks like. Obviously we have the back of the car, and I'm just going to briefly show you guys the boot. So I think it's personally quite a decent sized boot. I think you can fit a lot on it. I just got my shoes in my bag, so I guess that adds a little bit of context of size. Obviously you can remove the parcel shelf, and it does actually fit underneath here, so it'll fit nicely. There's just some important tyre stuff that I don't know what to do with. So it is a 35 TFSI, and I really like the back spoiler. It is a Sportback, so that's why it's a little bit sporty, and obviously why I got the S-Line as well. And yeah, that's pretty much the outside of this car. Right, so we're gonna get into the car now. Not gonna lie, this is all still very new to me, so if things aren't, you know, crystal clear, that would be why. So as you can see, this is the front of the car. I personally absolutely love the front of the car. I wasn't too keen on it at the start, just purely because of this section here, which is obviously the aircon, heating, you know, all that jazz. However, I'm not really that mad at it now that I have obviously now got the car. So we have got a digital touchscreen, which I absolutely love. I had a touchscreen in my previous car, but obviously this one is a little bit more fancier, shall we say. So I'm just going to walk you guys briefly through it. So we have the radio, media, telephone. Obviously this is all Bluetooth, and you can connect your phone, play your music. What's also good to know is you can connect your phone, so I can connect to my phone, but then someone else can connect to the media via Bluetooth at the same time, which I think is real useful. They then have the phone apps, which is basically like CarPlay and stuff, which I personally don't use. Then you have the car. There we go, thank you. Oh, we've got to switch on the ignition. So we have the drive select, and this is where you can just choose obviously what kind of driving you want, but you can also do it down here on this button here, so you don't need to go through the whole screen. Then we have lights and vision, you know, just the typical thing. It does have rain sensor, so the windscreen wipers will come on automatically. We've got parking aid, you can just change the volume. Driver assist, so we have speed warnings, presents, and lane departure. I'm a real big fan of the lane departure because it will let me know if I'm crossing over lanes on the motorway, which is useful to have. I do have the presents set up. Some people don't agree with it. It's basically where if someone will pull out in front of me, my car will automatically stop, and for me, I'd rather just have it on instead of me going into the back of someone. So I guess it depends what you're really into. And then obviously we have settings and service, which is just a whole bunch of things really. There's also a shortcut to that one just right there, and there's also obviously radio, media, and phone shortcuts just there. Then obviously you swipe across, you have settings, help, user, messages. I don't really go into this a lot. So settings, you just have like general stuff. You have display and brightness, language, keyboard, sound, announcements and sounds, system maintenance, and just, you know, a whole lot of stuff. Something that is worth noting about new Audis is they actually have like their services done online instead. So you connect your car to their app, and then they will write down like your services and stuff all through that. And then on the screen you have a little pull down section, which I don't really actually know what this does a lot of, but Brill. Okay. Oh, I just turned it off. Didn't mean to do that. So obviously you can turn off your screen by doing that, and then you just tap it to wake it back up. Moving on to the central console. So I'm actually going to turn on the AC because I am so hot in this car right now. So obviously you have your heat control, air circulation for it to go around the car, the power of whatever you've got on, AC, we've got that turned on because it is cut. This is obviously for your back windscreen, and then you have where you want to put it. So on the windscreen feet, just feet, I think that's quite hard to see actually. And then on your face, coming through obviously your little grate things. I really like this because obviously the passenger has their own two, and then for the driver's side you have your own two as well, which I think is quite nice. I feel like it's really catered towards me. But anyway, moving on. So we have the button for the stabilisation control. Also, a lot of things will come up on my screen here, which we'll get into more in a second, just to finish this section off. And then we also have the start-stop system that you can turn on and off. I just keep it on because if it's off, then the light comes on and that really bothers me. So we're gonna keep it on. Then obviously you just have your normal car things. We have a USB normal one, USB normal one. And then we actually have a USB-C, which I was really impressed about. Wasn't expecting it. I didn't know what it was for. And then my brother said that's your USB-C, and I was like, wow. Who would have thought? This is obviously your main control for the volume and skipping songs and turning it off. It's a little bit tricky for the driver. I mean, obviously I can just put my hand around, but you can't really see it. It does have it on the wheel, which is great, and I have got an automatic, which I'm a fan of. It was a little bit tricky to start driving it, but I really like the way that it's all set up. I think it's very sleek. I absolutely love this little tray here. I think it's real useful. If I could get my phone out, 2 secs. I have a Plus phone and it fits perfectly in there, just for a little bit of size reference. And then obviously we have the handbrake, we have 3 cup holders, another little tray, which I think I'm actually going to put my hand sanitizer in there instead, and a little tray back here for the backseat people to use. Not that I ever have more than 2/3 people in here at a time. So I just quickly want to talk about this little thing here. It's pretty self-explanatory, and we're not going to talk about it too much, but I have it set so obviously when the doors are opening, the lights come on, you can obviously turn on the lights using that button. They dim in and out as well, which is a real small minor detail, which I thought was really, really cool. And then obviously you have an SOS button and an information button. And I quickly just want to talk about this dash cam. I was kindly gifted it by a company called Rexin. They are on Amazon. I will leave a link to them obviously in the description box. I haven't got it plugged in yet because I need to obviously get things to stick the cables down, but it's really overexposed, so I'm not going to talk about it too much, but I will obviously leave a link in the description. So we're now going to move on to obviously what I can see as the driver, and I absolutely love the dashboard because I really wanted like a digital one and a digital speedometer, and I'm so happy that I have it. Over here we have got the petrol, how much gas I need, and I am aware I need more petrol, so we're going to go do that after this. However, I'm just in love, obviously you have your revs, temperature on this side as well, and in the middle it tells you date and time. Obviously you can change this though, just using this little scroll. You can scroll down to consumption, short-term memory, long-term memory, energy consumers, and driver assist, which I haven't actually used this, but I think the next time on the motorway I'm going to use that because I'm assuming it's got a lot to do with obviously the lane control. Then you can use this button to move on over, and you can go to your radio stations or you can go to your media, which definitely going to have to be blurred. Again, you have the miles that you've done on the car, you have the time again, and then you also have got the temperature, and you have the miles left in your tank up at the top as well. And then just so you guys can see the indicator, it's really just quite the indicator. I didn't actually get to say as well, but we do have the hazard lights over here, which I didn't put on, but we have got them obviously. Moving on to the controls and the steering wheel. So this you can use to obviously move your steering wheel. It's a little bit tough, but you've got it, so you can move it up, down, towards you, back. I just leave it up, and is that where it was? I think that's where it was, pretty sure. And then obviously here we have got cruise control. You have your lights up here as well to do everything, and your indicators. It's pretty standard. And then moving on to this side, you have your windscreen wipers, but as I said earlier, they do actually have automatic like sensors for that, so you don't normally need to use it unless you're cleaning your windscreen. And then finally on the steering wheel we have this side of buttons, and so this is for switching between your media and the radio. I don't have anything on right now, so we'll go back to the radio and turn it right down using this. You can obviously skip songs using these 2 buttons. You can answer your calls, put down your calls, and use voice control, which I'd never really trust in a car. I have tried it, it does work. Over here we have the window controls. I have obviously I have a 5-door car, so that is why. And this one will stop anyone in the back from opening up their windows. I guess if you have kids that's useful. For me, don't really care, so we turn it off. And obviously we have the wind mirrors, which you can control automatically. You just turn it and then, you know, adjust them like a normal wing mirror button does. And then finally we have the lock buttons. This car does automatically lock after a few seconds of driving, which is a feature I really like. I feel like personally as a girl I would always lock my car doors anyway, so it's just great that it does it by itself. And then over here we have got the lights. So obviously you have your rear, you have your front, like weather lights and automatic lights. I have my lights on automatically just because I think it's a lot easier and the car will just sense it, which I think is pretty cool. And lastly, I promise this is the last thing over here, guys. This little lever, I'm pretty sure it's for the bonnet. We haven't opened it yet, so I feel like we should go open it. We'll have to open the door to do this, I just realised, so it will open. Let's go. This is just what the engine looks like. I'm not going to go into too much because we're not in a driving test and I'm not doing a show and tell kind of situation, but it looks pretty cool, right? It looks a lot cooler than my Citroen, let's just put it that way. Let's try not to smash any fingers when we do this. Oh my god. Right, let's get into the back. All three of these seats, including the front seat, have the Isofix thing. I don't have any kids that I'm planning on ferrying around anytime soon, but if you do, good to know. I think that there's lots of space. Personally, I'm 5'5" though, and I've got a lot of room everywhere. I think for obviously 3 adults, it might be a little bit cozy, but 3 kids, 2 adults, 1 kid, you know, everyone's gonna fit, especially if this seat's moved a little bit more forward. Whoever's in this seat's been taking up a lot of the room. A real cool feature in the back is you actually have your lights as well. Obviously I have them on the setting, so when the doors are open you can turn them on and off, but you can do the lights. So guys, that is the end of this car tour, and I hope you all did enjoy it. If you did, don't forget to leave it a massive thumbs up, comment down below what you thought, and obviously if you guys aren't already, make sure you subscribe to my channel, go follow me over my Instagram, and I'll be doing a drive with me very, very soon, so I shall see you then. Bye!